Hello, it's Raticake and LazySp00n, and we're doing the Week 4 Power Rankings once again. Yeah, should we hop into it?
Yes.
Okay. So, I guess I'll take the first person. In 16th, we both have Luke. Luke is the only person yet to win a game. He's 0-4. However, Sethy only has one win now because of a forfeit, so Luke's still there. Luke has still been, Luke lost 5-0 this week. So I had a pretty big loss. Some of his other battles have been pretty competitive, but he's just been missing out barely in each battle.
Yeah, it just seems to me that he hasn't been able to click with the team he drafted. 'Cause I know he said he's had a tough time using Mega Latios, I believe. That's his Mega. So I can understand the feeling, whereas if you drafted the team and you can't just click with it, it's unfortunate, but there's nothing you can do at this point. Because I don't think he has any transactions left.
Yeah, he's done some swaps, I know. Okay.
Well, then let's get to 15th, which we both have Sefi, who took a forfeit, so I just slotted him in here because Luke lost this week because he actually battled. And there's nothing really to say because he took a forfeit.
And just because Sethi won because of a forfeit. He didn't lose because of a forfeit. Yeah, Sethi won because of forfeit, so he's 1-3. Have him 15th because it is technically a win, but he still hasn't won on his own, so he's the very bottom. Yeah.
Now on to 14th, another forfeit in Wolverine.
Yeah. Wolverine started out pretty strong, but then since then has just kind of lost his focus in every game and now just didn't battle this week. I know for a lot of these people, it's like a lot of people's first weeks back in school or something. I don't know. Please battle, guys.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say?
Not much else, just forfeit loss. I don't have much to say for forfeit losses or wins, honestly. It's just, it happens, and you're not going to get a better rank. Well, I mean, in Seth's case, you did, but you're not going to get a really good rank because of it, and you kind of screw over everyone else in the rankings.
Yeah. There was 3 forfeits this week, so that makes it really hard to do these.
If there's just if one game was forfeited, that's fine.
But almost
3,
half. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we'll just move into number 13.
I have Capital, you have Nathan, and I guess we'll start off with Nathan.
Nathan,
because he was a forfeit again.
Yep. I put him in 13th, basically because he forfeited. He had one really strong week early in the season, so I had him up higher. But just forfeiting, it makes me think he might be losing some of his focus. And yeah, I don't have too much else. He just forfeited.
Yeah, I just have him higher because he was a bit higher for me last week, so I didn't feel right for him to drop 8 spots or something like that.
Yeah.
So I just have him a bit higher this week, but same reason why I lowered him from last week is because he didn't battle. You don't really deserve to get a higher rank.
Yep. Okay. So finally, a battle that happened.
And this guy shouldn't have won because of a stupid crit. I don't know. He bribed Showdown, as we said, to get them crits, all the hacks, but Capital somehow beat Duck. It's complete bullshit. He totally cheated, and so that's why I only have him going up 1 spot. But in all seriousness, if it wasn't for all the forfeits, Capital would have been higher up, since I could have given people more rightful positions down lower, while you would deserve to be higher. But I mean, he didn't deserve to beat Duck. So
yeah, so I have Capital up at 9th, actually. Just because I felt like this week and last week, he's finally figuring out how to play and making those, not huge predictions, but just some small safe predictions and getting the win. He had a pretty solid...
the low risk, high enough reward predictions.
Because he played...
Duck.
He played Duck, and...
Okay. Got a lucky turn 1 or 2 crit on Hydreigon, which did hurt Duck endgame.
Yeah. But
But he
like,
did. But they both did. I will say on both sides, it was a solid battle on both sides.
yeah,
But the ending could have been different because of that early crit.
yeah. I was not gonna lie. I was in math class while watching a lot of all of these battles. But so like from what I was paying attention, he was just making some like solid work with Heat Rain and making predictions right away in the beginning. That ended up like kind of giving him the win. And as you said, like there's a early lucky crit, but I just felt like Capital's really been stepping up his play, and so I'm
Yeah.
happy with that.
Well, now we're moving on to number 12, where you have Duck and I have Apache. So since I have Duck at 11, well, I mean, you also have Apache 11, but let's just go with Duck because we're still talking about the same game.
Yeah,
So I guess I'll start. And with Duck, I mean, the crit really hurt you. There's nothing you can do about that. You lost your Duck luck for this week because Capital cheated, but I mean, you're first cheater, so you did the best you could.
yeah. So
Anything else?
I'm down at 12th because he actually played his battle. Um, he was kind of just attacking while I was ahead of him. He made some smaller predictions, which was nice, which is why he's up at 12th. But he's still just kind of struggling with his team, and also um, with sure he does get unlucky all the time, but I mean I guess I don't have too much. I just feel like he's just been playing a little bit lower, and so but he actually battled, which makes me very happy.
Yes. And now we'll move on to Apache,
Yes.
and I'll just say, Apache, you played a really solid game. In my opinion, you should have recovered with Porygon 2 before it died there because even though it's toxic, it still is a great wall. You did, and you played great around the Lanoon sweep. I don't know how to pronounce that properly, but you played around really good with sacking off just so you can get more toxic heal with your Gliscor to live it and then revenge kill it. So that you played really well around that, but I think you should have recovered with Porygon 2 before it died instead of just letting it die because that was like a really nice mon to have as his team, even if it was toxic.
Yeah. So Apache, I have him at 11th. I don't understand going for Mega Gyarados setup against Galvantula.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of worked because somehow he missed a Compound Ice Thunder. So
Yeah, he missed like that's basically why it kind of worked. He missed the Compound Eyes Thunder. I don't.
only one.
Yeah, or like the one, but I didn't look at calcs or anything. But even at +1, the Gyarados didn't outspeed Galvantula. So if that first one would have hit, it literally would have done nothing. I feel like this is like the second week in a row that he's kind of just gone for the setup slightly too early, or just too early against something it really shouldn't have. And yeah, so I don't really understand that. Um, he didn't seem to really be thinking about all of like the options or like know the movesets. Like this Tail Sneasel, kind of seemed to catch him off guard and take out one of his mons that because then he could have set up Aurora Veil. What else? He did have a good job going for a Moonblast, like at the end, expecting the Crocodile to come out to get him more differential, which was nice. But overall, he was just kind of like half a step behind most of the time, it seemed like.
Yeah. I guess let's just move on to our number 10, who has been playing really well, Captain Sebasaur.
Yes.
I'll start us off because I want to say, good job. You didn't bring trash ass Meganium. That's why you've moved up 3 ranks for me. Not because of you're playing well and you're winning. It's because you didn't bring trash ass Meganium. Keep it up and don't bring Meganium. Even if it's viable, do not bring Meganium. Venusaur's better.
Yeah, so Captain, he just done the first 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure he had really close losses. And he's just made like a transaction or two and just really stepped up his team. He did like a great job right away testing for defog. It's or at least that's what it seemed like he's doing, figuring out kind of what set the Togekiss was, and then like clicking Stone Edge with Heracross later to when something else was in to take out the Togekiss, knowing it was going to come in was really nice.
Yeah.
He's just been playing super well lately, and like making those kind of, as I said about Capo, starting to make those small predictions that are kind of low risk, very high reward. And
yeah, whereas it's like even if it backfires, you don't lose much, and you gain more. You gain a lot more. That's like this for people who don't understand. The simplest low risk, high reward.
yeah, and I guess one thing also for me is that helps Capital and Luke, who he played. Capital didn't make any like big misplays. Like usually there's like a big misplay that loses someone a game. Like we'll see, or they'll just start making misplays, whatever. Luke didn't really ever seem to make any misplays. It's just Capital was always half a step ahead and playing pretty solid.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything else to say about Capital?
No, we're talking about Seb, remember?
Oh, Seb, yeah.
You're comparing Seb to Capital as like how they make the same.
I'm tired. Okay.
Okay, well, we have already gone over our 9 picks. Let's go on to who we have at number 8.
Okay.
You can start us off.
So number 8, we have Naz. He is 2-2 now, I believe. So he's like the highest 2-2 person, I believe, for me. Or I guess Zombie is above him, but so he's had some rough weeks earlier on and some pretty close or iffy matches early on. But this week he did get a lucky crit to take out the Mew, which had set up Coal Mines. But he 6-0'd Vesuvius, and he's just been playing some like decent. He's just been playing well. Or this game was.
Like, I mean, I will say, like, it was lucky that you got a crit on that Mew because you're kind of misplaying around it, but you did play a solid game overall, and in my opinion, you did deserve the win. I don't care what anyone says. You stay in long enough with a mon and you're setting up. It's like you kind of hope to get that. You pretty much banking on that crit.
Yeah.
It's like, I know it sucks for Vesuvius being the one who received the crit, and I'm pretty sure every one of us has received that crit when we've been setting up. But when you set up, like, it doesn't matter. It sucks more so when you're starting to set up, but it's like even when you start to set up, it's like you're asking for a crit to happen the longer you set up.
Yeah.
I understand like sets might require you to set up a certain amount, so it's like you'd need to, but that's just my mindset. While you would need to set up, it's also like at the same time asking for it, and it's unfortunate, but it's the game we play.
Yep.
So you decided to run. You played solid overall, though.
Yeah. Also, Naz has won the last 2 weeks, I believe, against very high-ranked people for me. Not gonna lie, I think last week was an extremely hacksy game that he won because of, but like it's a lot of really good momentum for Naz, beating two like the highest-ranked players.
Well then, let's move on. Done here to number 7. Another forfeit, but a forfeit win, and we just kept him at 7th as MX.
Yep.
Not much to say. You played well the other weeks.
He's
but
3-1 now, I believe.
Yeah. I
think he's still.
There's much to say since you didn't battle this week, honestly.
As I said last week, he's still kind of has yet to prove himself.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate that this week's battle would happen.
Is it Luke and Duck are the people he's beaten?
No, he faced Woof, and he lost to Woof, and then because he played his 2 matches when he filled in versus Woof, lost, then beat Seb, and then beat his next week, and then got this forfeit win.
Yeah, so to me, he still just hasn't quite proven himself yet, but he's still at 7th and pretty solid standing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Time to now go to number 6.
So number 6, I have Zombie, you have Vesuvius. Should we... I'll start out with Zombie. So Zombie lost a 1-0 against Woof in a very close game. Obviously, because it was 1-0.
Yeah.
Right away,
out of the 5 battles, it was battle of the week.
Yeah. So Woof, he got a burn with the first Scald with Tentacruel against Bronzong, which really helped Wolf, which so obviously hurt
Yeah.
Zombie because it made it so those Earthquakes, which were doing like I think 30% or something earlier.
Yeah, I only did like 18, 15-ish.
Yeah, so that hurt quite a bit. And then after that, I don't see why Zombie went into a Thunderous against a Weavile when Diggersby was out. Like, Ice Shard or some ice move. Ice Shard seemed like such an obvious play because of how he's ran Choice Scarf in previous weeks. I felt like it's kind of obvious that I don't know exactly what the set was, but some sort of Ice Shard was going to come out and do so much damage. So he just sacked off his Thunderous, which, while it wasn't like the best Mon in this battle, it still could have done a decent amount.
Yeah.
And then also later on he sacked Hitmonlee, which I know it was poisoned. I know it was pretty low, but like 2 or 3 of Wolf's things were weak to Mach Punch, so he still could have used it around. It allowed him to get a ton of damage with a close combat off on Steelix and take it out. But like I felt like it could have been so useful against like Weavile or something. Do you have anything to say about?
Oh, sorry. Well, I mean, pretty much just what you said, but it was just a great battle on both sides, and like, I just enjoyed every aspect of the battle. It was just a fun battle to watch, where we saw both sides play like, pretty much an equal game. Just Wolf managed just to edge you out, Zombie. So great battle to both of you. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess for this one, it kind of showed to me something I was a little worried about earlier in the season, where Zombie has a very solid team, but just doesn't quite seem to have like the prepper play that some of the other top people do. And here we saw like in that close match, he didn't seem to be making some of the like reads and stuff that we've seen from some of the other upper players.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and now I'm just going to move on to Vesuvius because I need to say something to you, buddy. You would have been third for me, but you have to fucking chill after a loss, okay? It's a fucking Pokemon. Crits happen. Saying you were heated or salty was obviously false, because you were, you dumbass. Like, it's like, I'm not salty. Oh yeah, Jason's gonna fucking lose his battle. He's gonna get wrecked. It's like, okay, chill. It's like, we finally got you to stop talking about the match, then you just start trash talking the person I'd ranked above you the whole time for no reason. It's like, I understand your frustration, but just chill. It's a game. Shit happens. Just fucking chill. See, we all know you're a great battler. And as I said, you would have been third, but because you showed such poor sportsmanship, even though you proved, and we all believe that you would have won if it wasn't for that crit, you just need to chill. Crits happen as Pokemon. Come on.
Yeah.
You have anything to say?
I guess I'm just gonna point out I have him up at third. Just because that crit did matter a lot. It seems like he should have learned from that last time when his Mew got crit, that when Mew is setting up, it gets crit. But yeah, it seemed like he got slightly greedy. I didn't look too much into it, but I felt like he could have knocked out Manectric just because it's something that hits very hard. So he should have kind of known it was going to be doing a decent amount of damage. He could have knocked it out and then let Mew set up on something else that would be doing a little bit less damage. But at the same time, I can see, because unless he got the crit, Vesuvius probably could have counter-swept with the Mew. However, he didn't play around the
He played really poorly for the first half, being down 6-3.
And when your opponent has a Volcarona that has set up a Quiver Dance, like, you have to be ready. As I've said before,
didn't he like switch in Persian to the Volcarona, like Alolan Persian?
Yeah, like he just switched that in and it got knocked out. He played around it very poorly. I just think that if there's a Mon, I get that it was at +1, so it's a bit harder. But if there's a Mon with a ×4 weakness, you can always run something
Stealth
your
Rocks.
team can. Stealth
Rock Slide.
Rock Slide. Sure, it was at +1 special defense, but like HP Rock. Like, all of these things would have done so much damage, and he just misplayed around it a lot, and lost some big mons right away.
Brockton to stop the speed boost from Quiver Dance.
Yeah, so that's why I have him at third, just because he did get 6-0'd. It was sort of because of a crit. I don't know if
I'm pretty sure we've all accepted, like, if it wasn't for the crit, at the very least, it wouldn't have been a 6-0. It would have been a much closer game.
Yeah.
If not, you would have won, but we'll never know because you got crit, and you lost. Haha.
Yep, it's the game we play.
Alright, time to move on from that meme to our next at number 5.
Which is...
yeah, we've talked about... we'll talk about Jason later,
yeah,
since I always have him ranked higher.
Uh-huh.
And we talked about Zombie, so let's move on to number 4, where we'll talk about Woof. So I guess I'll start off.
Yeah.
And it's basically the same thing I had to say about when we're back down with Zombie. Great gameplay on both sides. I just enjoyed the match thoroughly. This is like, if you wanted to watch a really competitive, fun league match, I'd suggest this replay of the match because it's just a really enjoyable battle to watch.
Yeah.
If you're just a fan of the game competitively, and especially the league, in my opinion, this is just a really fun match to watch. Overall, it's competitive. There wasn't too much hacks involved. It was just enjoyable all around.
Yeah. So he did. Wolf, I talked about mostly earlier. He played a very solid game. I do think that burn with his first skull against Tentacruel really helped him because it allowed Tentacruel to stay in, and it made it so that Zombie could not get up Stealth Rocks. But as we said earlier, it's the game we play. Like, Scald burns so often, or it doesn't burn at all. But overall, yeah, Wolf just played a very solid game, and brought like the right team and has been playing very well lately.
Yes. All right. Well, so was the item at third, and let's get on to number 2. I'm going to quickly explain why for number 2 and 4 I have Jason / Pesky. It's because even though Pesky did get the forfeit win, this is, in my opinion, was going to be match of the week. The top 4 rank would have been decided by this match. If Jason won, he probably still would be my number 1. If Pesky won, then it would probably be Pesky here, Jason 3 or 4. So I just want to clear that up first because it was a forfeit game, and I just couldn't decide between the two because they both have been playing amazing to start the season. It's a shame that they couldn't battle this week.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have I have Jason in 5th, just because he did forfeit, and to me, I just really don't like to see it. It makes me really worried about how people are going to do the rest of the season with their commitment. But he's still like a solid player. I just have him down at 5th, since he forfeited. There's not a ton else to say. I feel like compared to some of the other 3-1 people, he's won because of hacks a little more, so I have him a little lower than some of the other 3-1.
Yeah, this was a forfeit. We don't have much to say.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the rightful number 1 right now.
Yes.
You can start.
So number 1, I have Archfiend once again. You also have Archfiend. I think this is the first time we've both had the same person.
Yes, it is.
So we have Archfiend. He's the only 4-0 person right now. He has been playing very well. He won a big match last week against my number.
Pesky.
Yeah, Pesky.
And then this week he played a good match against Apache, and Apache put up a good match against him. So yeah, it's not like he was playing someone like, sorry to say it, but Luke, who hasn't been playing well at all.
Yeah.
He played against someone who gave him a really good match. So
yeah, so I guess Archfiend, a little bit about the game. Galvantula he used very well in the beginning. He was able to take out Gyarados. He just had HP Ice on it, did a huge chunk to oh boy, I cannot remember what it's called now. Did huge match the huge chunk to LazySp00n.
Yeah.
And he just had the right sets. To me, he's just been bringing the right sets, playing pretty well. One thing about Archfiend that makes me a little worried is when he seems to play for a slightly lower ranked players, he kind of plays down a little bit, but he's still playing.
He doesn't like underestimate them to the point where he just brings meme sets. He still brings viable sets. It's just that he might make a small misplay here or there just because he might underestimate them a teeny bit, but he definitely isn't like the stereotypical first place undefeated team versus a winless team, thinking they won't do anything, but then they end up getting blown out. The undefeated team gets blown out. It's only he only needs to make a small mistake here or there, and that doesn't matter too much overall. So, so at least it isn't too big.
Yeah, overall, I think he's been playing like the most consistently well. He's had the big wins that he's needed,
and he's won the close games which he's needed.
Yeah,
he can play. It doesn't matter if it's a close or a big win. He can win anyway.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, meaning in the post-draft rankings, he was my #1 ranked team just because I love his team.
I gotta say, after just watching his battle this week, I'm getting a feel for everyone's team, and I really do love Archfiend's team as well. That's such a team that I'd use as well.
He's been using it very well. Like, some people are not comfortable with their teams, even if they have solid teams. Like, I think even like Sethi and Capital have pretty good teams, but they're not comfortable with them. Whereas Archfiend seems very comfortable and is just using everything exactly how he should.
My only complaint with this team is no unknown.
Yes, the goddess.
And no one drafted our Lord and Savior unknown, so shaking my head at all of you. But I mean, out of all the teams, Archfiends and also Ducks, I do like Ducks' team as well.
Yeah.
Those two other teams are the teams I like the most. And when I say that, it means teams that I could see myself using as well. So.
Yeah. So Archfiend, we just both have him first. He's the only 4-0. He's proven he should be there. He's had those big games. And I don't think any of his games he's won because of hacks or they've been hacks. It's just been solid plays for both of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I mean, that's it for power rankings. All I gotta say for next week is play your fucking matches.
Please.
We don't want to have 3 forfeits. No, forfeits.
You might want to re-say that because you kind of just cut out. Or not. Okay. So
gotta just work through it, find a way to battle somehow, because this helps it all run smoother.
Yep. Oh shit. Damn it, did it again. Okay, shit. God damn it, this is a repeat of last week. Anyway, so I'm just gonna kind of look at next week's schedule, because this one was kind of shorter, I feel like, and quicker, just because there were so many forfeits we didn't have as much to say.
We were able to speed up through the first little bit because of all the forfeits.
Yeah, since almost half the games are forfeits. So looking at it, Capital plays Wolf. That one should be kind of interesting because Capital's been on a roll lately.
But Wolf's gonna win.
Yeah, so this will be Capital's chance to kind of prove, especially to you.
But my theory is never pick Capital.
That's a decent theory. Let's see, what else do we have? We have Naz versus Nathan. That one's just kind of...
That's a coin toss for me, honestly.
Yeah, and they seem to be really good friends. So I'm kind of excited for that just because I feel like the chat will be really funny.
Yeah.
And that should be a pretty good one because Naz has had a big win now. And Nathan has showed earlier this season that he can play very well. He didn't quite have it this week, but can. Wolverine plays Pesky. I don't have too much to say. Pesky's just been playing really well. Wolverine has not. Hopefully Wolverine shows up because it kind of hurts Pesky if he has 2 forfeit wins in a row. But hopefully that battle happens, and I think it could be kind of interesting just because of how Wolverine's team is so thick, but then also Pesky has the setup for that, so
then Zombie and Arch.
Yeah, that's a battle I'm pretty excited for, because even though I did have Zombie a little lower this week, I had him in 6th. He barely lost this week. He barely lost last week. Like he lost 1-0s in both of them. He's so close to being a 4-0 team. I think that could be really exciting and a really good chance for Zombie to get back into it.
Yeah, for sure. Then Seb versus Sefi. I'm just thinking Seb because he's been on a roll, and Sefi hasn't got a win on his own yet.
Yeah, this is one that would be kind of big for Seb, just because or for both of them, because if Seb can kind of crush him, that'll be very good for Seb and show that he's really picked it up and figured out his team. And then if Sethi can pull off the win, he would win against someone who we have been really impressed with lately. Yeah. Then we have MX versus Apache.
I'm going to quick say, for the commissioners watching, please change the schedule. I don't want this. I put MX's name in the schedule. It's been how many weeks now? Come on.
Yeah, and
we don't need this guy. His name. I don't know. I'm not saying his name. We don't need his name in the schedule anymore. It's MX.
Yeah. So yeah, he plays Apache. That's a decently big one too, because Apache has had some losses lately. He has been
playing well, and same with MX.
Yeah, and MX has been playing well. But as we said earlier, has not had that win against sort of like a better player, or like a... Well, I guess he beat Seb, who's been playing really well lately, but Seb was really struggling earlier in the season. So, this could be a pretty big one for both of them. Ooh. Yeah.
I wanted to see them both go undefeated in this week, Jason versus Vesuvius. I wanted to see them both go undefeated, but Jason took the forfeit loss. Vesuvius took 6-0 because he sucks. But I think I'm leaning towards Jason because I've been on Jason's side this whole season, so I'm going to stick with him.
Yeah.
But it's honestly up in the air for me since they've both been playing great. It's up in the air.
Yeah, this is a really hard one. One thing I will say is, at first I was like, I'm definitely going Vesuvius in this. I'm like, to me, Jason is going to have to get some hacks to win, but Jason has been getting hacks, luckily, and Vesuvius is not. So but that's not the only reason I think Jason would win. I think it's going to be a very close game, just a huge slugfest. That'll be really exciting. So
the next is Luke versus the God, and obviously God is going to win.
That's a game I'm really excited for, actually, because it's two people who are really trying to prove themselves still, and Luke is still searching for that first one.
And Duck's trying to show that he can get. He is not just Duck Luck, but he is
the God.
Not just Duck, and can win.
Yeah, because his one win was because of hacks. So if he can get this win without hacks, that'll be very good for him.
And I believe that was the last battle.
Yep. Yeah. Not too much. Just please battle. That's all.
Battle right now. It's Wednesday.
Hi, dudes.
Hey.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna leave it here. Sorry, this was kind of just like a lackluster one, but there were 3 forfeits. That's really annoying and just kind of puts me in like a bad mood when doing this, but it also just makes it so hard to do rankings.
Yeah, you also kind of suck for that, even if people have battled because I'm throwing you in there. Except for Duck, he doesn't suck, even though he has it in his name.
Yes, Duck Luck. Yeah, so with that, I think we are done, unless you have anything else to say. Okay. Peace out.